We're going to play with some arm balances today. Crow, crane, and two versions of crow we're going to start off with. So let's talk about the names first, because we always get confused a lot. Kaka means crow. Baka means crane. It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, you can call pose whatever you want, but we're just talking in a pure Sanskrit way. Kaka means crow. Baka means crane. And the way that the birds are shaped too, it makes more sense that the crow, kakasana, refers to the lower pose with the arms bent, whereas crane refers to the higher pose with the arms straight. We'll start off with kakasana, crow pose. We'll start with a low crow, a low variation. This is a bit easier to start off with. So come to a low squat, bring your elbows to touch the inside between the thigh and the calf where the two meet. Right? Bend your elbows, place your palms down on the mat. Move back a bit. Place your elbows down onto, or your knees down onto your elbows. Keep the elbows bent. Okay, they need to be bent to create kind of like a flat surface to lay your knees on. Lean forward into the pose, and then begin to play with your balance. Lift one toe up and lift the other toe up. If you can lift both of your toes up, try to make them touch. Make sure that if you're able to keep this balance, you're still breathing. I'll show from the side. So this low crow is more based on balance. You can engage your core into to help with it, but it's not 100% necessary. That's kind of low kakasana, low crow. High crow, your knees come into the back of your triceps. Really high up on the back of your triceps, very close to your armpits. Place your palms on the mat, lean forward into the pose. Lift one toe up, lift the other toe up. Curl your legs behind you. You have to engage your core to help lift you up a little bit higher. I'll show from the other side. If your arms are getting slippery, just use a towel to wipe off. Yeah, place my knees right to the back of my triceps, really high up. I'm up on my tippy toes, see if you notice. Get a little bit extra height. Place my knees into the back of my triceps. Begin to lean forward. Lift one toe up. Lift the other toe up. Engage your core. Lift up a little bit higher. So those are the two basic crows you can play with, right? This next one, bakasana, baka, crane pose, is a little bit different. Whereas the two crows are kind of balancing your weight on top of your elbows or around your elbows. This one is more of a press. You're hugging your knees in onto the outside of your arms to help keep you high up and lifted, right? Let me show it. Bring your arms on the inside of your thighs, right? See how my knees are really high up? They're almost beside my shoulders. They're going to slide down a bit, so you want to take them up as high as you can to start with. And your knees on either side of your shoulders. Squeeze your knees in. Squeeze them in. Straighten your arms. Cranes have long, straight legs. And then lift the feet. Let the toes touch. Bakasana, crane pose. Keep the core engaged. Help lift you up a little bit higher. Also help the squeezing power of your knees. Squeezing in alongside the outside of your arms. Show it from the other side. Squeeze your knees in on the outsides of your arms and lift up. So those are two forms of kakasana, crow, low kakasana, high kakasana, and the last pose we did, bakasana. Let's do one more. Side crow. Kakasana. So sit down to like a low kind of squat. Sides are together, knees are together. Come over to your side. Now I'm coming over to my left side. Bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. It's almost like a big twist here. Left elbow to the outside of the left hip. Lean your weight in. See how it lifted my hip up so it can rest onto my elbow. My elbows are bent. Lean into the pose. Lift your leg. You can also try the other variation, a side curl. Left elbow on your right knee on this side. We're going to change up sides. Instead of having my right elbow onto my right hip, I'm going to have the arm out. I'm going to keep my obliques engaged to help support me in this pose. Lean into the pose and lift up. Elbow bent. So this is for the basic arm bounces, and the next time we'll maybe turn it up a notch. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Namaste.